more bad news for Greece. The EU saying today that Greece's budget deficit last year was worse than previously forecast, and in fact, it could top 14% of GDP. Joining us now to discuss how this is affecting currency markets is Daragh Maher. He is Deputy Head of Global Foreign Exchange Strategy at Credit Agricole in London. Daragh, always good to check in with you. Is there any good news out there for the euro? It seems to just be getting killed, at least these past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it does feel that way. I mean, in fact, one of your colleagues, Sarah Eisen, said to me, is there any reason on earth for buying the euro? And, I think it's a sentiment shared in the market. We had some pretty good PMIs out of the Eurozone this morning, and we saw a fleeting bid for the euro. But, at the end of the day, we keep coming back to Greece. And, we have these revisions that you saw, that you mentioned, and, they create this credibility issue. Can Greece, if the starting point is worse, can it actually get back to where the rest of its Eurozone partners want it to be? And can it do it quickly? So that continues, I think, to put the euro under pressure.
People are pretty pessimistic that that's even a possibility. I mean, how much of this, can you quantify it, is already baked into the euro-dollar cross?
It doesn't feel like the euro-dollar is particularly oversold, if you like. If you look at it on measures like a fundamental equilibrium exchange rate, it's about actually fairly valued. So I think there is more downside here. I mean, when I looked at it on a very long-term basis, I kind of compare it to a marriage where you get this 7-year itch, and we seem to have a 7-year cycle in the euro. I think we're just beginning the down cycle. It may last, indeed, 7 years.
All right, well, speaking of 7 years, and speaking with Sarah Eisen, you referenced her earlier, she was saying the last 10 years, it's all about the strong euro. Are the next 10 about a strong dollar?
Potentially. I think really, particularly in the last leg of the euro up cycle, you're kind of wondering, why were we buying the euro? It was simply because we didn't like the dollar. That's not really reason enough to buy the euro. Now we're in an environment where people have kind of realized the euro's deficiencies. And even if we sell it back to 119, let's say, on euro dollar, that's only its average since it was introduced. So, we're not kind of overcooking it here in terms of euro weakness. And so I think it's got more to go.
Daragh, before we go, I just want to ask you for your thoughts on the loonie.
Yeah, I mean, I think today we've seen it kind of still hovering about parity. I think the monetary policy report we get out of the Bank of Canada today, it should be hawkish, but the problem is it's a big document, and I think the risk you run is buried in there somewhere. They make mention of their unease with Canadian dollar strength, and so you get a pop higher in dollar CAD. If we get that, I think it's a great level to start selling again. The Canadian story is strong, commodity story is strong. I think it would be a temporary blip.
Daragh, thanks as always. Daragh Maher there of Credit Agricole joining us from London.